Now, I have a question about Jesus. And since we know the importance of the bloodline and the lineage of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, so I was wondering lately, what is the percentage now still that exists on earth of that lineage from Yeshua and from Mary Magdalene? Because I know that they were after this like crazy.
That's a cool question.
Thank you, Janine. Just came to me this morning.
I have really weird cards.
Really?
Really strange.
I kind of do too.
Yeah. It either doesn't want to tell us. They want to keep it hidden. They want to keep it safe. Yeah, I don't think it's going to tell us.
All right, thank you. I respect this, Janine. I understand.
Maybe it's unsafe to talk about. I don't know why, but
yeah, I agree.
I mean, I feel like I can speak a little bit vaguely or ambiguously about it. It feels like, yeah, to talk about the percentages is a bit, I'm not getting any clear message around that. But I do get two feelings, and one is that there is a sort of a watered down percentage or immersion that's taken place through lineages where so many of us hold some of that bloodline, in our DNA. And so that's activating right now. Like that is, yes, we're opening up in a beautiful way to the interconnectedness of the lineages. And I'm even getting a feeling of before Jesus and Mary Magdalene, like those lineages have spread and dispersed out as well. So it really is almost more like a consciousness or an essence or a quality that's being birthed and rebirthed in us.
I like it.
And then I do get, like Janine, I get that there's something like almost like there's some protected people have been put somewhere safe, basically.
Thank you. I respect this, ladies, and actually that's why I'm not going to ask. I had a certain person in mind to ask if that person has part of that blood, but I'm not going to ask because, yeah, that's what they were after, and I feel it's not the time yet. I feel like it's going to come out, but not yet.
It'll come out in time, and there's a really important woman that'll come out to be known as, but it's not time yet.
Yeah.
The woman with D.
Yeah, a woman connected.
The Princess of Hearts, Algorithm.
Yay.
Okay, so now I want to jump on this heavier question, or more complex, I would say. And I'm so eager to hear what you're going to receive. I have listened to a very powerful video lately that JCK has posted about what we are really living in, this illusion. And I will try to describe this the best way I can, and I would like you to tell me what messages you receive about this. So apparently, we are on the plane of existence called Earth. And what we have been shown on the maps, like as a map, it's barely a fraction of this entire plane. So that map shows only this 3D area, that is underneath the dome, that is locked by the frequency of this dome, this matrix, and this matrix is now crumbling. So there is an entire paradise, new earth existence away from it, outside of it. And I have a question about this, which is this. I'm feeling very strongly lately that this paradigm, this dome is gonna crash. However, people will see the truth. However, many people will still stay within the same borderline, and some fraction of people will actually transition, ascend to the higher new earth space. I would like to know if this is the true, that's what I just described, if this is real, and if I am right about this, that some people will stay within this, even though there is no more matrix, and some people will go. Does it make sense, ladies, my question?
Yep. Lots of people talk about that splitting, almost like the splitting of worlds.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, I clearly see we're quickly moving away from a very dysfunctional, maybe this is describing that matrix, because that matrix is made up of a lot of sorrow and dysfunction, illusion, delusion, and this could also be all the kind of things the dark cult's been up to. Thousands of years. So they've literally infiltrated, or maybe they invented this one we're sitting. I don't know which came first, right? Did they come and ruin it, or were they?
They created the dawn by it's like a spell.
Yeah. Okay, that makes total sense. So it's breaking apart according to my cards. We're at the end of that spell. So this card says we're at the end. And you're going to have a choice according to my card. So following your heart to new world, but it's more intuitive. It's like when you're in your intuitive heart chakra, intuitive knowing and grounded, right? Exactly what Ashala has, the very same kind of energy there. You'll move into that other space, I guess, but it's more in your heart. And it might not be physically, literally, you're going to move. Do you know what I mean? It may be just be in your perception. The world will already feeling that. Like,
yes.
I can't even hang out with a lot of old friends from the past because it's like they're in a completely different reality and paradigm, and I can't even relate to it. They can't relate to me. The only people I kind of have tolerance besides, like some really close people like my siblings, but also my parents, I forgive them because they're really old and they just don't see it and they're not going to see it. So I can really exist with them and it feels okay for short amounts of time. But for the most part, I can't even be around people that don't think like me anymore. So maybe we're going to create it in a different way that might not be literally, we're going to move space.
It's beautiful, Janine. I so love this answer. I mean, it's amazing. Literally, it's amazing. I agree with you 1000% because I would rather be by myself alone, which I love my solitude, I always say, than be in the energy. There is no resonance anymore. It's like suffering to me. It's beautiful. So this is coming to the end, it's crumbling. And then we have a choice. Wow, you said we have a choice from the heart. That's so beautiful. Ashala, tell me what you have.
Well, first of all, there's just so many cups in the spread in front of me. And to me, what I'm sensing is that, like Janine said, this is actually an emotional process, emotional, intuitive, and spiritual and creative. So we are truly finding our our spiritual sort of purpose in a way. We are discovering why we're here. And those of us that are awakened or have been awakened are feeling almost like called to a kind of duty to show up and be very, very courageous in how we move forward. I do feel like there's going to be an important wave of grief where we have to be willing to feel the sorrow of the loss of so many things that we've loved and cared about, people, and you know, like just like missing something, even like a bad relationship in a way. If you've been in a bad relationship, you're still going to have to grieve and feel sad about the loss of that person because you've learned so much from them, and that in some way they'll always be part of you. So it's like we can't, I don't feel that we can just abandon the world that has been. However, we would do well to really allow ourselves to grieve right now, because that will open up a lot of the creative energy so that we can connect with each other and start building something new, or continue to build something new. I've been getting a real sense that people of like mind are going to be drawn together in such beautiful, you know, synchronistic, almost magical ways. And that as that old system is crumbling, we are celebrating, you know, not just in our minds, but we're really feeling lighter.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So beautiful. So, you know, such a, it's so true, Ashala, because when we think about it, people get used to, even if they are in abusive relationships, sometimes they get used to this oppressor. So they get used to the illusion. It's almost like they are grieving the illusion and the suppression because this is familiar. And there is such a beautiful world out there.
Yeah.
And yet there's also something, there's going to be a gift in the lesson from that. It's not just that it's been abusive. Like Janine said, this is almost setting us up to grow, and that there's something beautiful about that. So grieving that process and grieving the, you know, the end of some of the things that we have really loved.
Yes, true.
Like struggle. A lot of people really hang on to the idea of struggle or victimhood.
Yep.
Those things I tried to leave behind a long time ago. I'm feeling really good about the victimhood part. I've let that go a long time ago, but the struggle part, that's quite recent. Maybe in the last 10 years, I've let go of the need to struggle, because we're taught in this matrix that only the elites and royals and, you know, elites of the world, what's been known as the elites, they're the only ones that get to have on the levels they have. And I think, and I remember seeing this astrologically years ago when I was studying astrology with my friend Heidi. We were deeply engrossed in astrology, and we both, I remember having discussions about it. We saw that in about 25 or 30 years, and we're there now. That was about 30 years ago. We saw that there was going to be a time when money was going to get out of the hands of the elites and into the hands of everyday people. And that it would be like the meek shall inherit the earth kind of thing. If you want to get biblical about it, although we weren't coming from that perspective, but I think that's the saying that goes along with it. And that it would be our turn to do something good with it, to utilize. It's just an energy exchange. So it would be a good thing to see what are we going to create with it? How are we going to move it around? And obviously we don't want to recreate the kind of yucky stuff that's been going on, all with that abuse of power and indulgence, whatever. We're going to do it differently, or we need to do it differently.
Definitely.
So great. You know, can I just say, because I want to encourage people, like when I look at Janine and Ashala, I want to encourage those who are watching. This is the time for you guys to step up. Don't be afraid. Start your own YouTube channel, whatever feels for you. It's your way of expressing. You want to write, you want to talk on Instagram or other platforms, Telegram, whatever it is. just step up. Don't be afraid, because this is the time for those spiritual, soulful beings to really show up. And I know there are many people who for many years have been living in this, like they don't belong, they don't know why they are here. It was very difficult for those people to find their voice. This is the time for your voice, everyone. So I just wanted to throw this in right now.
Yeah. And sometimes their voice might even be just doing background. Like a lot of my viewers, they know by now, they've figured out that I'm not a researcher by any means. And they dig up all of this stuff and do all this research and deliver it to my inbox, which is, I'm so appreciative. And I look at it with the cards. So I don't assume it's true or not true, because that's not what a tarot card reader does. I just look at what does the universe say about this? And I am so grateful for those digital soldiers. So sometimes people don't want to be in the front line in any way.
Yeah.
I totally understand. Some of my best ideas that help my sort of platform even look interesting is because I got it from somebody who does their research, which I find fascinating, because I don't do any, I'm not a researcher. I look at it with what the universe says about it. That's been my whole life. And I stay pure that way, and I'm happy to do. So I got my little, I'm a funny duck that way, because I'm being a Taurus ox. I stay exactly where I know I can do good. I don't try to tell you I'm a researcher or try to be, I'm not nothing but exactly what I present. That's what I do. And I know exactly what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not good at, and I'm good. That makes me happy to just be good at something, a little something. I got my little piece.
It's a beautiful collaboration with your viewers, really is. You're fully engaged in the process, and I agree, that's so true. Not everyone wants to be seen, however they contribute so much.
Yeah, they make me look good by sending me all these memes. I never find memes on my own. So I got several people, they send me incredible memes. I don't even know where they get them. And I put them up on Instagram, and I get to look like I'm really on top of my game on Instagram, and it's all them. And I'm so thankful for them.
Yes.